Oh, you've been waiting for this one, haven't you? It's a TV exclusive for you here. So Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister, revealed this week that a visit to the home of a voter in Oldham a decade earlier had made him realise that his party had got it wrong on immigration. Pensioner Joyce Todd warned the then future Prime Minister that uncontrolled immigration was having a negative effect on her neighbourhood, with fly tipping and drug dealing changing her street beyond recognition. And explaining this back in 2015, she said she felt the need to prove that she was not racist. Mrs Todd, a lifelong Labour supporter, had been thrust into the public eye since the Labour Party conference last week. She admitted she will never vote for the party again, adding she doesn't believe a word the Prime Minister says. I think Joyce, who is joining me now, Joyce, fantastic to have you. I think you are a representative of many people across this country, Joyce, and thank you so much for coming on to GB News to talk to us, because of course it's all about hearing the voices of people up and down this country, and that's what we're here to do. Joyce, why don't you start by telling me what it was like to have the now Prime Minister in your home?
Well, it was quite an honour, actually, to be honest, at first, and the conversation went all right, and it was quite amiable to start with, until I was accused of that he said he thought I was racist, and then that really upset me, because I am anything but racist. So I kindly asked him to leave the home.
Did you really? Wow.
Yes. This
you kicked
is my
him out?
home, not his.
You kicked Keir Starmer out of your home?
Yes.
Good for you. I think he's been kicked out of a pub before. I've never heard him being kicked out of someone's home. So he accused you of being racist in your home, did he?
He said he suggested I was racist, yes, over things that I was saying. He suggested I was racist. Because
you were... Is that because you were concerned about immigration in your local area?
Yes, very much so.
That's shocking. So the Prime Minister, who's now decided to get tough on immigration, what do you make of that, Joyce? Do you think it's really genuine?
No, I don't believe the word that comes out of his mouth, I'm sorry. I really do not. And the way that he described coming into my home to start with wasn't correct. So if he tells what I would class as lies about that, then his policies will probably be lies.
Indeed. And so, Joyce, you've been a lifelong Labour voter, right? That's what you've said.
Yes.
Yeah. Why would you go now? What's the future for you? And who do you think is going to solve the crisis in our country?
I actually don't think the crisis in the country can be solved very quickly, but I do think it can be solved. And I think we need someone like a Reform Party. At the end of the day, for years on end, we've had Tories, we've had Labour. So why not give someone else a change? Let's have some new blood in this country. We need it.
And who would that be, do you think, Joyce?
Nigel Farage and Reform.
Do you think that's do you speak to many people in your area that share that sentiment with you?
Many people in my area share that sentiment. And many people in Oldham Town Centre share that sentiment too. And Labour has nearly always held Oldham, always been a red wall, but I don't think it will be this next time.
Interesting stuff, Joyce. And has your area continued to change since you spoke to the now Prime Minister Keir Starmer all the way back in 2015, for the better or worse?
It's gone worse, not better.
What's worse about it?
Well, in the first place, the majority of I have lots of Asian neighbours who I'm very friendly with, but we have a lot of Eastern Europeans that moved into the area. They have no respect for the area. They play football in the street until 2 o'clock in the morning when people have to get up and go to work, because obviously they don't work. They dump rubbish everywhere. Quite often the council come round and clean up. Within 5 minutes, it's back again. Mainly mattresses and things like that. So to my thing, it seems that they sleep on mattresses all the time, which we do, but I think they sleep on the floor. They have the sunflower seeds. They constantly spit the cases onto the floor. We look as if we have white carpets on our streets because there are that many of them. They crowd together, and I'm not intimidated. I'm not a person to be intimidated. But quite a lot of people, especially ladies round here, won't walk down the street when they gather together in, 15, 20 men outside one shop, and they don't want to move for you. They don't want to integrate with us. They don't want to do anything of our culture. They just want to keep to their own culture. But if I went to live in another country, I would have to accept their cultures, I'm afraid.
Absolutely right, Joyce. And nothing you said was racist. These are genuine concerns people up and down the country have had. And I'm ashamed that the Prime Minister would call you racist. I'm ashamed of that. I'm ashamed that a politician in this country would stoop to that level, particularly in someone else's home, or at least allude to it. Do you think multiculturalism's failed in Britain?
Yes, I do, actually. I think it's failed a great deal.
And what can we do to remedy this situation? And what would be the number one policy you'd like to see happen in Britain?
The number one policy is that I think multiculturalism can succeed, but it's got to be with legal people, not illegal people. We need to stop the illegal people coming into our country. At the end of the day, we are just the laughing stock of the world. We're the land of milk and honey. It's a gravy train for a lot of people. And yet our own people that have fought in the war, that have gone out to Afghanistan and fought out there, can't get a penny. So why should all these other people get all this money and all the benefits? It's totally wrong.
And Joyce, just to go back to something you were talking to me about earlier, because you said people in your area, of course, share your opinion that it's got worse and worse and worse in Oldham. Has there any of them felt tempted to leave?
I think quite a lot of us might want to leave. But the way that the area has gone and all these immigrants that are now in the area, I'm afraid we won't get the money for our property anymore. And many of us have spent a lot of money on our property. And you don't buy property to lose money on it. You buy it to try and make money on it and have a comfortable life out of it.
Indeed. Joyce Todd, thank you so much for joining me. A former lifelong Labour supporter there who met the now Prime Minister all the way back in 2015. Bombshell stuff there, calling you a racist in your own home. It's despicable stuff. Joyce, thank you so much for joining me. I want to bring Paul Richards here. He's sitting next to me. He's been listening into some of that commentary there. So just to give you, if you couldn't hear all of it, Paul, but, Joyce said that the Prime Minister essentially alluded to her being a racist in her own home. She kicked him out of her house, which I would rightfully do if someone said that to me in my house. Do you think the Prime Minister's got something to answer for there?
Well, I thought it was quite interesting that he even mentioned it in his great big speech at all, because, I've written plenty of these, and what you do is if you're mentioning anyone, you check with them first and you'd make sure that they're happy to be mentioned. He wasn't mentioned by name, but I believe the Manchester Evening News kind of tracked her down in Hathershaw, which is a part of Oldham, and got the story out. But anyway, I suppose all I'd say is I'm sorry we've lost her vote. It sounds like she's not coming back to the Labour column anytime soon.
Her and many millions of others as well. What I'd like to have asked Joyce is how does she feel about the fact that 2,213 illegal migrants entered the UK this week in 33 dinghies. How's smashing the gangs going, Paul?
Well, listen, gents, I'd love to find out the answer, but we will, because we've got a lot more to talk about. We've just run out of time. Can you give it to 2 seconds?
Very quickly that I believe, because I listened to the Keir Starmer speech in its entirety, that actually she was at pains to say that she had been to her neighbour's wedding, and her neighbour was Asian, and she'd been to a full-scale Asian wedding in an attempt to show him that she was not racist.
Well, there you go.
Went into the conversation as well.
There you go. And listen, I know the government, for a bit of balance here, they would say that immigration is the lifeblood. Perhaps they'd say this is the lifeblood of the country and that it's good for Britain and that actually we all just need to get on with it and stop moaning and it's lovely economic growth with it. That's what they would say, perhaps.